Today on Play to Win, it's playoff time in college football. Are we headed toward another Alabama-Clemson national championship, or will Oklahoma and Notre Dame upset the apple cart? That and more on the fastest 30 minutes in television, football's Play to Win.
Today's show is being brought to you by Nissan and This Is It Barbecue. Welcome to football's Play to Win with Falcons All-Pro defensive end Chuck Smith, Falcons All-Pro offensive tackle Bob Whitfield, Play to Win expert Jeffrey the Edge Schechter, player medical and injury reports with Dr. Sadiq El Amin, and your host, Nikki Williams. Today's hometown team report is brought to you by Mellow Mushroom Pizza Bakers, a higher order of pizza for your tailgating events.
Good morning, everybody, and happy almost New Year. Welcome back to another week of football's Play to Win with Atlanta Falcons legends and my people, Bob Whitfield, Chuck Smith, and welcome to the show, legend Terrence Mathis.
Hey, thank you.
Hey, Coach Mathis.
Coach Mathis now
Coach of Pinecrest Academy.
Pinecrest. Okay.
Welcome.
Thank you,
whole
man.
panel of legends up here. We got really lucky, so welcome to the show. Hopefully we don't run you off. We're going to start off now by talking about the Cotton Bowl. Number 3 Notre Dame versus number 2 Clemson. Clemson looking for another national title. Notre Dame looking for their first one since 1988. What do you think, Bob?
See, Notre Dame been lying in wait. They've been waiting for a moment like this.
Is that lying in wait or did pass away?
Yeah, they've been asleep a little bit. But you can't count Notre Dame out. And what you have with ND is somebody that's being overlooked. Clemson has a lot of press about them with the Lawrence, the defensive lineman who might be suspended for this game, and then just all the media talk just around Clemson. I think Notre Dame is clued into a big successful victory here, that they have all the right tools with Ian Book at quarterback, and that they're ready to go. And Kelly, the coach, has been waiting for this moment.
I don't see it.
I knew it.
I see it a little differently. I see Trevor Lawrence, the quarterback. Really, to me, this is going to be his coming out party against Notre Dame. With defense, to me, that's overrated. I think Notre Dame, they're a great story, but this Clemson team is built from defensive line. They're solid. I mean, quarterback, they're solid. Running game, they're solid. And I believe Dabo Swinney, one of the best coaches in America, who doesn't get the credit he deserves. I think Clemson is going to absolutely put hands on this Notre Dame team. Like hands, like they say, out in the deck. The K, we put hands on people.
Well, I think, Clemson being there before, I think they're better prepared for this game than Notre Dame is. And I think, as you said, the Clemson quarterback is the key to the success of this game. And if he has a slow start, they'll lose. But I think how much Dabo Swinney has put this team together and how he's formed this team, I think they're going to rally around this young kid and win this football game.
Have you seen them defensive linemen? I'm just telling you, man. Absolutely unbelievable. Look, so me and my son ended up going to the Clemson game, Clemson, South Carolina. We stood on that sideline and walked up on him, me and Chucky. It was like this. What?
There'll be one less, though.
But
one less.
Clemson got the kind of defensive lineman, when you walk on the field, you walk in between them, you're like, yeah.
So you don't think that the change with Lawrence, the defensive lineman, being out, might just change a little bit of that prowess that they have, that you just claiming that they just going to run through people? I just think that this gives advantage to Notre Dame O-line.
Well, anyway, it remains to be seen.
Optimism for the underdog. Now we're going to switch gears and talk about the Orange Bowl. Oklahoma, Bama, two of the best offenses in the country. Terrence?
Well, I think this game is interesting because we know historically Alabama has trouble with quarterbacks that were mobile. And you have the Heisman Trophy winner coming in who's had a phenomenal year. I think they're going to have trouble with Oklahoma. But at the end of the day, I think Saban will outcoach Oklahoma's head coach, and it'll be a wonderful, wonderful game. But at the end of the day, with the two-headed monsters at quarterback for Alabama, I think they'll take this game.
I think you might see more of that two-headed monster with Tua. I can't even say his last name.
Don't worry about it.
With Tua T having a little injury with his ankle. He got that high ankle sprain, and he said he's 85%. So you might see them both playing.
Well, so it looks like you guys are going Clemson, Bama again. When we return, there's plenty of other SEC bowl action ahead. We're going to break it all down for you. Also, can UCF beat an SEC team in a bowl game 2 years in a row? That and more coming up next on Play to Win.
Fuel your football. Come to Mellow Mushroom for craft brews, fresh cocktails, and stone-baked pizzas. Or mellow at your own home gate. Tailgating? No matter who wins, it's always mellow for the win. Fuel your football with Mellow Mushroom Pizza Bakers.
The rules of luxury. Look, but don't touch. Touch, but don't use. Use, but don't enjoy. Enjoy, but don't show it.
If you're going to follow one rule, make sure it's this one. Luxury should be lived in. During the Infinity Winter Sales Event, lease the Infinity QX50 for $379 a month, plus get a special winter bonus at your Atlanta area Infinity retailer.
Look what God has done. Thank you. Because of your support, we've grown to locations all over Atlanta. This is the time of year where we all take time to give thanks and to celebrate with family and friends. May God richly bless you and your family is our prayer. Thank you and happy holidays. See you soon.
Today's SEC and ACC report is being brought to you by Nissan.
Welcome back to football's Play to Win, and welcome back, Jeffrey the Edge Schechter, and of course, with us all day, Coach
Terrence
Mathis.
Go Pinecrest Academy.
Yes, the club.
Well, we are in the presence of greatness, of course. So right out of the gates, I want to take a look at some of these SEC Bowl matchups this week. Let me know what stands out to you up here.
I'm going to show you the loser on this, the SEC loser. South Carolina versus Virginia.
Let me tell you the winner, the SEC. How about that? Look at all them SEC teams.
Oh, no. Michigan, baby. Michigan.
Don't get into New Mexico State. Don't make me talk.
I'm glad you said New Mexico State because that's not my school. New Mexico State. It's the University of.
You know, UCF.
My bad.
UCF and LSU is a very interesting game. The non-Power 5 conference teams won 2 years in a row. Used to beat Florida State 2 years ago. UCF beat Auburn. Now they're coming in. Everybody expects them to beat LSU. They got a great team. They score a lot of points against Memphis and teams like that. The quarterback's out. Now they're going up against a very serious defensive team. So that could be different.
Yeah, the Fiesta Bowl. You know, a lot of people say LSU wasn't even supposed to be here.
Well, I'm going to tell you this. LSU needs to be here, but I'm going to tell you this. It's about Central Florida. Should they be here? Because to me, when you look at their schedule, can they do it again? Because when you look at their schedule, it's suspect at best. But I'm going to tell you this. You know what this does to Central Florida if they can beat LSU? You know how it sets the table for the next time they're in the conversation about the Final Four having a chance to play for the College Football National Championship.
This moves them up that list.
This game is way bigger for Central Florida than it is from LSU, because if Ed Orgeron loses this game, it's going to be a black eye on the SEC. Not just Ed Orgeron, the player, so but anyway, he's the coach. But Central Florida got a lot to gain in this game.
This is Central Florida's championship game. Mm-hmm. It's pretty much their championship game.
Right.
And it's a lot of pressure on them also because they keep saying we should be in the conversation. We should be one of the top 4 teams. And they got to go out and prove it.
Well, that's why they need 8 teams to avoid controversy. Just one more week, and they'd be in the tournament and see what happens.
Well, the Peach Bowl, of course, Florida, Michigan. Dan Mullen's first year as head coach at Florida. A lot to lose there.
Man, this is one of the best matchups. I love this matchup. Florida versus Michigan, Harbaugh versus Mullen. I mean, 2 storied programs that are really getting back on solid footing. But to me, it really comes down to Michigan, an underachiever this year. Thought they were going to have a chance to play for the College Football National Championship, get in the Final Four. There's more pressure on Harbaugh than there is on Dan Mullen at Florida, because Florida, everybody expected them to be down. They're in the SEC East. The SEC East is, suspect a little bit. But Michigan, I'm really intrigued to see what's going to happen with Harbaugh. You hear in the NFL, folks, he might go to the NFL. But Michigan, to me, they've got all kind of players that aren't going to be in this game. But I love this matchup. I think it's one of the best matchups, Florida versus Michigan. I think
that's what overshadows Harbaugh's greatness is he going to leave Michigan to go to the NFL? And I think this is one of those games that Harbaugh can prove that he knows how not only to coach a team up in one of those dead-end bowl games, but really prepare for a big recruiting success and stay at Michigan and finally get to the prominence that they deserve to be at.
Dan Mullen's playing with house money. Nobody expected them to be number 10, so he's already achieved more than anybody expected. So
this is a distraction for Michigan with the Harbaugh situation.
Right.
You have two guys who are skipping this game to get ready for the NFL. This is a setup game for them. And like you said, I really believe if either way it goes, if Harbaugh loses this game, it's going to be more talk of him leaving and going to the NFL.
And of course, the Wolverines looking to finish strong. I mean, they've dropped 4 of their last 5 bowl games. Now let's switch gears over here to our college football showdown of the week.
Today's Showdown of the Week is being brought to you by the Georgia Lottery.
And to no surprise, we're going to be looking at the Cotton Bowl and the Orange Bowl. Jeffrey, how do you see these games?
Well, all year long, Notre Dame really hasn't gotten the respect they deserve, myself included. I'm giving them respect now. I think they covered the 12.5. I even think they beat Clemson. Oklahoma is going to score points against Alabama. The only problem is Oklahoma is not going to be able to stop Alabama. It's going to be high scoring, but Alabama's going to cover the 14. Give the points with the Crimson Tide.
The man has spoken, guys. Up next, it's time to break down the Sugar Bowl between UGA and Texas. Will the Dogs be out to prove a point, or will they just be going through the motions? Our guys weigh in next on Football's Play to Win.
There's not much time.
Final countdown initiated.
It's the final days of Nissan's year-end event. Your last chance to load up on tech and save big on our award-winning lineup, featuring the all-new Altima, Rogue, and the powerful Titan. Time's running out. Get the holiday's biggest tech before it's gone.
Get 0% financing for 60 months on 13 models, or save up to $10,687 on select models.
This event ends
January 2nd.
Better hurry.
Athletes of all levels experience more wear and tear than most. Stop playing through the pain. Get the proper medical attention you need from Dr. El-Amin and the staff at the Orthopedic and Sports Medicine Institute. Our team includes specialists in many fields offering compassionate care and advanced treatments that will get you back in the game. From weekend warriors to athletes of all levels, we've got your back and shoulder and ankle and knee. Call today for an appointment or visit theshouldernation.com.
Fuel your football. Come to Mellow Mushroom for craft brews, fresh cocktails, and stone-baked pizzas. Or mellow at your own home gate. Tailgating? No matter who wins, it's always mellow for the win. Fuel your football with Mellow Mushroom Pizza Bakers.
Today's University of Georgia Report is being brought to you by This Is It Barbecue and Seafood.
Welcome back to Football's Play to Win. Now let's dig into the Sugar Bowl action. Texas, Georgia, all things Bourbon Street. Which Georgia pass rush is going to show up for this, Chuck?
Well, hopefully the one that has 4 men. That's what Georgia wants to do. No, seriously, that's what you want to do, so it helps you when it comes to coverage. But Georgia's had some challenges, and that has to do with the front four. They haven't quite developed like I'd say Kirby wants them to do, but what they do a good job of at Georgia, Kirby at the end of the day is a defensive back coach and knows how to set the back end of defensive backs to help the front end. So what he ends up doing is sending pressure. He'll end up sending 5-6 blitzers and guys like that do fire zones. And I just think Georgia's going to have to send pressure with their linebackers and other guys because the front four hasn't seemed to be able to have success when it comes to rushing the passer.
What about Jake Fromm?
See, Jake is wearing, he's from State Farm, and he's wearing these wrinkle-free khakis all the time. So he has no pressure on
what? Wearing what?
Wrinkle-free khakis, because they talk about the quarterback transferring. They're talking about the running game with Swift and Holyfield. So State Farm has really, to me, no pressure on him. He can just show up and do what he does week in and week out and play good quarterbacking, throw the ball downfield, play action, handoff, and then lead that team to victory.
We should have no problem against Texas.
Now, I would say that some people think that this game doesn't mean much to Georgia. I would say this game means more to Georgia than it does to Texas because they're trying to prove that the Bama game wasn't a fluke, A, and B, that the committee got it wrong. Terrence, what do you think?
I think Georgia coming into this season was all a bust season for them. They played a wonderful game in the national championship game last year, and then they get a chance to beat them dudes again in the SEC championship and did not do it. So I think think at the end of the day, it was all a buzz for Kirby and the Georgia Bulldogs. And got to be careful of a little letdown here. And as Chuck said earlier, he said this is a big game for Texas because they're playing mighty Georgia Bulldogs.
What about the outside elements that surround a bowl game like this in New Orleans? How do you keep your head screwed on straight as a player on Bourbon Street?
It's hard, especially for your first time. Look, we was there in 1990, Sugar Bowl. We played against Virginia.
And he hadn't been allowed back since.
And we ain't been allowed back since. Look, I'm going to just tell you what you do. The dial starts at 0. The dial goes all the way up to 60 real fast when you're on Bourbon Street. I'm talking about, hey, let's call a spade a spade. It's a lot of guys' first experience with a hurricane. You ain't supposed to. It's the first experience.
Walking down the street.
In one of the, I guess you call them gentlemen's club or strip clubs. But it ain't really a strip club because they ain't taking
burlesque.
Let me just stop right there.
It is a city full of entertainers. Jeffrey,
Yes,
how do you see this game?
I think there's no comparison between these two teams. Like I said, Georgia's the second best team in the country. If they come to play, there's no letdown, they should cover the third team against the Longhorns. Go with the Bulldogs.
We're going to go with the Bulldogs. Bob, what do you think? You think Jeffrey got it right?
Jeffrey might got this one right. I like the Bulldogs. I just think they're going to smash them, and they're mad that they're not in the big show. So I see a Bulldog just running through them.
They win, they go to number 3 or number 4 in the country. So
I don't know. This is big for Texas. I mean, I'm not saying. To me, it's not as much about a Georgia letdown. Got to give Texas some credit now. The second half of the season, Texas came on real strong. So to me, it's going to be a good game. I just think Texas is going to play over their heads, and it's going to be a lot closer than anyone thinks.
And I think Georgia's playing for some pride, too. They want to close out the season with a win. So I think we can all agree that both of these teams are, in fact, playing for something. Now, this is what our experts have to say. Now it's time for you guys to be the experts. Head over to our Play to Win website and play our Ippolito's You Be the Expert contest. This season, be sure to visit our website, playingtowin.tv, and take a shot to be #1 against all the competition by picking this week's college and NFL winners against the spread. We'll be giving away Ippolito's $100 and $50 gift certificates to each week's first and second place winners. So make sure you come back every week and prove your football IQ by being the best at predicting this week's college and NFL games. Ippolito's, a great neighborhood Italian restaurant. After the break, we're going to shift our focus to the NFL as we enter the final regular season weekend. What's next for the Falcons? Our guys will weigh in next. Stick with us on Football's Play to Win.
This is it. It's me, Wanda Smith, and is your schedule anything like mine? Busy, busy, busy. Listen, the holidays are approaching, and I just cannot stand over a hot stove. So do what I'm going to do. I'm going to order it all from This Is It. Place your order online. Your choice of smoked or fried turkey, ham, cornbread dressing, and plenty of delicious veggies to choose from. Pick it up, chill, then simply heat and serve. Order today, holiday dinner, check.
Cook, I clean it.
I know, I love cooking.
Hey guys, I'm going to Dave's to play video games.
Hang on.
Yeah, we talked about this. We don't want you over there.
Their internet, it's cable.
Son, when they could get internet with AT&T fiber and they don't?
We just want what's best for you.
Don't get mixed up with bad internet. Switch to AT&T Fiber. Get faster upload speeds of up to 300 megabits per second for $40 a month. Limited availability may not be in your area. More for your thing. That's our thing. Call 1-877-ONLY-ATT.
The rules of luxury. Look, but don't touch. Touch, but don't use. Use, but don't enjoy. Enjoy, but don't show it.
If you're going to follow one rule, make sure it's this one. Luxury should be lived in. During the Infinity Winter Sales Event, lease the Infinity QX60 for $429 a month. Plus, get a special winter bonus at your Atlanta area Infinity retailer.
Today's show is being brought to you by Mellow Mushroom, Atlanta Peach Movers, and the Orthopedic and Sports Medicine Institute. Today's Atlanta Falcons Report is being brought to you by McDonald's.
Welcome back to Football's Play to Win. We have arrived at the final regular season weekend. Falcons, Bucks, what are they playing for? Chuck?
Well, they're playing for, I guess, basically pride. But when you're a player, you're playing for an opportunity to win because no one in that locker room is looking at all the things that happened in the past. You want to feel good. You want to finish the offseason saying we won 3 in a row when you're the Falcons. So from a player's perspective, I think you guys have been there. you just want to win.
It's a lot of jobs on the line.
Yeah, but I understand that. But most guys are like, man, it just feels good to win. You don't want to go out losing. And from a player standpoint, it's just, I just want to go home and, have a, feel good about that we won the game and not finish with a negative vibe.
Well, I think a lot of players are looking at their career moves after this, so that there's jobs on the line. There's jobs for coaches and jobs for players. So young players might get a chance to play in games that they didn't get a extended play time with, and coaches have to show up and do a good job because they will be looking for new jobs, and that might be our offensive coordinator looking for a new job next year. So I think it's a good opportunities in this game right here for a lot of young guys to get some run out there and show that they belong.
Now, look, real quick. The tape is already out there. This one game, like you're saying, people playing for their jobs, I disagree with you on that, Bob. They already have enough tape on these guys. This last game against Tampa is not going to dictate if you get another job or not. They've already, you rewind the tape. And so
let you have a letdown,
but the evaluation's
show up to
already
the last
done.
game. Show up to the last game.
The evals already done on the guys. So this game is about let me feel good after the season, and they'll study the tape later.
You remember Darryl Talley showing up to the game with a U-Haul truck.
You know this game, you know what this game means? It means 7-9 or 6-10. It means they had a terrible year, no matter what they do.
No matter what.
So it's just based on emotion. How close are the Falcons? When we look at off-season moves that may or may not need to be made, how far off are the Falcons, Terrence?
The Falcons are very close. They don't have to do anything. I know there's uproar about the two coordinators whatsoever, and you talk about the offensive coordinator, Sarkisian, not doing a great job, but Matt Ryan has had his best year. He had a better year this year than his MVP year. So it can't be too much the offensive coordinator. Defensively, he has some injuries, but we never complain when you have injuries because we always say you're one ankle sprain away of being a starter in the NFL. So those players that are playing because of the starters are hurt, they're not complaining. They're getting a chance to play. And if you, as an organization, going to blame we've been injured, that's why we had the season we had, that means you did not draft properly or you didn't go in free agency properly. So Falcons are very, very close.
T, you're going deep right there.
I did.
Yeah. Do you agree with him? No moves need to be made. Status quo.
Well, I understand that sometimes you got to make decisions that help the team, and this is what I believe. If the guy isn't getting the job done, you coach him up this year till you can get something better. So they'll go back and look at the film, and if the guy ain't getting it done, you just got to get someone to do it better because this is the high-performance business. And if you ain't getting your job done, they're going to get someone to replace you. So I think all that evaluation, it's a,
jobs on the line. Just say it.
Well, at the end of the day, you're going to have.
Reinforcing what Bob said.
At the end of the day, you're going to have Matt Ryan go through his fourth offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
And over the last 5 years, I mean, that's unfair to him.
That is, I would agree with you there too. Jeffrey, how do you see the game?
Well, Tampa may be trying to save their coach's job. Last week Atlanta won 24-10, but Carolina, with second-string quarterback, went up and down the field. I think Tampa beats them, give them 1.5.
I hate to hear you say that, guys. When we come back, Dr. Elamine checks in with his player injury report. Stay with us on Play to Win.
Fuel your football. Come to Mellow Mushroom for craft brews, fresh cocktails, and stone-baked pizzas. Or mellow at your own home gate. Tailgating? No matter who wins, it's always mellow for the win. Fuel your football with Mellow Mushroom Pizza Bakers.
There's not much time.
Final countdown initiated.
It's the final days of Nissan's year-end event. Your last chance to load up on tech and save big on our award-winning lineup featuring the all-new Altima, Rogue, and the powerful Titan. Time's running out. Get the holiday's biggest tech before it's gone.
Get 0% financing for 60 months on 13 models or save up to $10,687 on select models.
This event ends
January 2nd.
Better hurry.
Today's player, medical, and injury report is being brought to you by the Orthopedic and Sports Medicine Institute.
Welcome back to football's Play to Win, and welcome back to my friend, Dr. Elamine, who is going to tell us everything about the injuries that we're working with right now in the NFL. Of course, we're end of the regular season, so we're going to have a lot, unfortunately. Let's start off with Marcus Mariota.
That's right. As you know, that's the quarterback from the Titans. He sustained a stinger injury in his shoulder, so he probably will play, but he's going to be very limited. He's going to have some problems on the ball downfield.
What's a stinger injury?
That's pretty much when you disrupt the nerves, sort of kind of going from the neck down into the shoulder, and so you get a lot of weakness, it's just a bad injury. You lose their strength.
Stinger is Spanish for bad. What about Todd Gurley?
Todd Gurley, as you know, he's the running back from the Rams. He is nursing a knee injury. Didn't play last week, but he should play this week because he's got to get that knee moving if he wants to be effective in the playoffs.
I'm going to let you say this guy's name. The wide receiver that's in for Josh Gordon right now.
Patterson, right?
Say that first name again.
Gordon Reala.
What's going on with him?
Actually, he has a knee injury, so the question of he's had very limited play. This is huge for them because, as you know, with Josh Gordon being out with the Patriots due to his issues, they're going to need a receiver. So if he plays, he won't play well. So I think he's going to be out 1 or 2 weeks.
Demaryius Thomas.
Yes, that is the wide receiver from the Houstons. As you know, he tore the Achilles tendon, so he's out for the season. He's going to need surgery. Wish him best of luck.
Over at the Colts, Eric Ebron.
Right, we haven't talked about this much, but this is very, very, very serious. He sustained a concussion injury, so he's on the concussion protocol, so he should be out for a couple of weeks. So maybe out for the season. We'll see.
All right, you made it right there to the end. You hate to hear any injuries. When we come back, we'll have Jeffrey, the Ed Schechter's picks. Stay with us on Football's Play to Win.
Athletes of all levels experience more wear and tear than most. Stop playing through the pain. Get the proper medical attention you need from Dr. Elamine and the staff at the Orthopedic and Sports Medicine Institute. Our team includes specialists in many fields offering compassionate care and advanced treatments that will get you back in the game. From weekend warriors to athletes of all levels, we've got your back and shoulder and ankle and knee. Call today for an appointment or visit theshouldernation.com.
We've owned a few different houses through the years. Your company was absolutely the best. They were so professional. Everything they didn't get a mark on a wall or anything else. It was clean, it was friendly, and it was fun. And most of the time, moving is not fun. I'm going to give a great recommendation to Atlanta Peach Movers. It's always on time and it's always professional. There is no tree in Atlanta Peach Movers.
To schedule your move, call Atlanta Peach Movers today.
Welcome back to Football's Play to Win. It's time for our lightning round with Jeffrey, the Ed Schechter. Jeffrey, give us the goods.
Mullen's done a great job in Florida. I think the Gators are going to beat Michigan, take the 6 with the Gators. Michigan State has nothing that resembles an offense. Oregon will kill them, give the 3. And this is not going to be one of these 56-45 AAC games. LSU plays real defense, and they're going to cover the 7.5 over UCF. Now, you may think I'm a little crazy here. Crazy. Giants are 6 over Dallas. This game means nothing to Dallas. Giants are playing good ball. Give the 6 with the Giants. The last team I'd want to play if I was Baltimore is Cleveland. They really should be 10-5 and have that division wrapped up, but they had some tough losses and a tie. Take the 6.5 with Cleveland, and Indianapolis killed Tennessee about 6 weeks ago, and they'll kill them again. Give the 3.5 with Indy.
You heard the man, guys. Thanks for hanging with us another week on Football's Play to Win, and thank you, Terrence Mathis. I say you're hired.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you, Coach Mathis, guys. As always, the conversation continues online. Make sure you're following us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Carrier Pigeon, all the things. Otherwise, we'll see you guys next week on Football's Play to Win.
Today's show has been brought to you by McDonald's and Georgia Lottery.